It is Turtle Tuesday, and there is a lot to talk about. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Got a lot to talk about tonight. New comic books, new Ninja Turtles comic books. We're going to be going over a Sophie Campbell interview, reviewing an interview, and we're going to be talking about a new Last Ronin fan film. We're spoiled. There's been a lot of these fan films, and I can't wait to talk about a new one. So happy Turtle Tuesday. Type a T in the chat, everybody. Type some pizza slices, and let's go! Welcome to My Ninja Turtles channel. It's 9 p.m. in New York City, and this is the Ninja Turtles Show. Your weekly live stream every Turtle Tuesday, covering Ninja Turtles news, toys, cartoons, movies, comics, video games, and more. Whatever the show we want.
Pizza heaven!
And tonight's show is no different, like I said. It's a little different. Got a little bit of a new look, trying something out. But we're covering some new comic books, talking about a Sophie Campbell interview, talking about a new Last Ronin fan film, a cinematic teaser. So make sure to hit the like button here on YouTube. Subscribe if you don't already. Leave a comment if you're in the replay gang. And of course, follow over on Rumble. And also make sure to follow over on Twitter at my TMNT channel. Make sure to follow on X, if you want to call it X. I've been reposting my top 5 most controversial Ninja Turtles videos leading up to a new video this Saturday. So I'm rehashing, I'm re-uploading some old videos, some classic videos, some classic controversial videos over on X, over on Twitter, so make sure to follow. And it's all leading up to a new video this Saturday about the Survivalist comic book, TMNT number 12. Came out back in 1987. So I have a new video coming out this Saturday. I hadn't had a new video in a couple weeks. And it's going to be a new video called The TMNT Comic Survivalist. Isn't about what some people say it's about. So it's a new video, controversial video this Saturday. So I wanted to re-upload my past controversial videos to Twitter to promote it. New video this Saturday. Thank you for all the kind words in the chat. Nice to see all of you, of course, by the way. Nordic Frost, hello. Elizabeth, JR24, bonjour, Miss Aori, hola, Tato Ruzu, hello. It's good to see you guys. Did I see Victoria earlier? Jay Headley, what's going on? Victoria, Joe Curious. So, hope you guys are doing well. Thank you for the kind words. First thing I wanted to get to, quickly wanted to get to. Have a full schedule to get to. Trying a sweet black and white aesthetic here. I'm going for a Ninja Turtle noir look. And the first thing I wanted to talk about was this Sophie Campbell interview I heard on the Turtles Forever podcast. Of course, we've had the host of the Turtles Forever podcast, Rob, on the channel before. Very nice guy, and a very good interview with Sophie Campbell. Of course, I've had my critiques, to say the least, of the Sophie Campbell run from 100 to 150 on the Ninja Turtles comic books recently. Definitely have had my critiques over the past few years. The story, the characters, the overall tone, the art. I've critiqued quite a bit. But I gotta say, on this interview, Sophie Campbell had a sense of humor. The host called Sophie Campbell dude at one point, and Sophie had a laugh about it. I thought that was pretty funny. Had a nice sense of humor about things. Sophie could laugh about herself, even being called dude, and laugh about the run ups and downs of the Ninja Turtles for the past 50 issues, from 100 to 150, the run that concluded recently. And Sophie mentioned a couple things that were kind of sweet. I gotta say, they were kind of sweet in the video. She said that it's a relief that the run is over. It's kind of nice. It's nice to be done with the Turtles run. But at the same time, she feels sad. And I thought that was it was really sweet to hear how honest and sincere that was. It's really vulnerable to say it's like leaving a job or something. It's like leaving school or graduating school or moving or something. So I thought that was interesting. No more turtles. And she did say something that kind of weirded me out. She said she leans left, which is fine. Left, right, whatever. But she mentioned it in this way, like she also makes comics for people that lean to the left. And I was confused by that it's like a political kind of thing with the comic book. Just because she has certain political views doesn't mean you need to infuse them into the comic book or anything. And she just made it seem like the Ninja Turtles are she's left-wing and it's a left-wing comic book for left-wing people. And I thought that was not very nice and inclusive. And it was just so weird how open she was about, half of the country is right, half is left, essentially. So it's really weird to just openly state that your creative and business goal will turn off to an extent half the country. I just think that's a little bit strange. But overall, the sense of humor, very nice. Nice to hear a little perspective now that the run is over. Getting to hear a good interview on the Turtles Forever podcast with Rob and Zach, two Turtles fans. And they did a very complimentary interview. They weren't confronting her about anything. And she mentioned she has some regrets and some of the choices she made. But Tataruzu says, yeah, it was pretty obvious. They're just blatantly mask off at this point. Yeah, it was a strange thing that she was just so open about it. It seemed she's boasting that she's going to turn off half of the comic buying population. And it's my understanding that usually men buy comic books. It's a pretty male-dominated thing. And women lean to the left and men seem to the right, essentially. It's like if you have to call it between boys and girls, if we're going to go back to elementary school and boys do this and girls do that, girls lean left, and I would say boys in general lean right if you look at any of the demographic charts. So it just seems weird to turn off the majority of the comic buying public and then boast about it publicly. I mean, do whatever you want. You want to sneak in some morals and stuff. I think that's probably good. But just wanted to recommend this interview. Sophie Campbell, very, funny, sense of humor, can laugh at herself, even being called dude, having a laugh at that. So I thought that I had to recommend that interview. Good interview with Rob, been on the channel before. And speaking of comic books, Sophie Campbell is the writer and artist for comics, of course. How did Rob react to that? He really didn't. It was the other host that was talking to Sophie Campbell at that time. Rob was just kind of listening. The other host was pretty much saying the same thing. And so the other host and Sophie were kind of going back and forth about that. And Rob was just kind of listening politely. Elizabeth says, I just want great, engaging writing. Don't care about their political party. That's pretty much where I'm at. I don't need that in my comic books. It seems weird. JR says, I think both sides can get along. Me too. That's where I'm at. So next thing, speaking of comic books, wasn't any politics in Black, White, and Green. Came out last week. It's an anthology series, featured 4 short stories, black and white art with just a sprinkle of green throughout. That's why I'm black and white this week as well. Not really, but let's go with that. I'm in honor of Black, White, and Green. I am black and white as well. 4 short stories, 4 different creative teams. And it was nice to get short, bite-sized chunks of Ninja Turtles. You're not invested in a 150-page story. It's not a 2-hour commitment. It's 8 pages, and it's mainly pictures. That's about my attention span. And reading level, I figured mainly pictures, that's right up my alley. So the stories were varied. There was a lot of variety. One was funny, one was fantasy, one was just kind of like a standard Ninja Turtles story, nothing too special. It was unique and everything, but it was just a standard, typical. And it really shows Ninja Turtles, they can go anywhere and do anything. They can be in like a Middle Earth. They can be like a fantasy Lord of the Rings kind of setting. They're in space. They're in the sewer. They're doing crime in New York City. They're on the ranch in Northampton, in the farmhouse. So I like that. It's cool to see how versatile they are and how flexible they are. And they can really do anything in this comic book. They could finish Mirage Studios. They could bring back Dan Berger, who I spoke with, or Jim Lawson. They could bring back anybody in this comic and they could finish up stories from any version of Ninja Turtles. That'd be cool to see. They could have celebrity guests. I know the guy from, one of the guys from My Chemical Romance is going to be doing an issue or doing a story in a little bit. One of the guys from My Chemical Romance. So they could have celebrity guests. I know there's like a lot of celebrity people that are in the comic books, or, they'll collaborate on something. Tataruzu says it was a breath of fresh air. Nordic Frost says Peter Steele aesthetic. Yeah, it was a nice breath of fresh air. The stories, honestly, I don't really remember them, and it's kind of nice. They were just little bite-sized pieces. It was just a little snack. You wet your whistle, you dip your beak, you get a few pages, little story, little setup. Nice. It's not a huge commitment or anything, but wanted to recommend it. It's a good comic book. The only thing I thought, the green was a little yellow in a lot of places. I don't know what was up with that. It was a little too yellow. It was like lime green. It was just bright. I'd like a more rich, forest hunter green or something. It seemed like they mainly only used this light lime green. It was very prevalent. But Joe Curious says, speaking of comic books, I got my midnight edition of issue 1 of the Eastman and Laird that started it all. The midnight edition. I also got the Jim Lawson variant cover with a Portsmouth 40th Minicon t-shirt. Very nice. Yeah, I know they released a bunch of those special issues, like 40th anniversary, issue 1. Very nice stuff. Black and white, just like this comic book. They're going back to the old school, back to what started it all. Back to the old days when they were printing in black and white. And there was, when they first printed, there was color comic books in the 80s. It's not like there was no color in the 80s. They just chose to do it black and white. They were kind of just crazy like that, I guess. But I recommend this comic book, black, white, and green. Second issue coming out in a little bit, and it'll feature one of the guys from My Chemical Romance. Speaking of comic books, another comic book. Another piece of comic book news. Of course, I just mentioned that Sophie Campbell, the Sophie Campbell run recently finished, and Jason Aaron will be taking over, and they're starting over at a new number 1. It's going to continue the same story, but I think they're really going to pare down the cast and really focus in on the 4 turtles, and it's a great spot for any new readers to jump in. Any new readers, it's a new number 1. It's a perfect spot to jump in. New vibe, new artist, all that kind of stuff. So this July, the all-new ongoing series begins this July with a Raphael issue, and since the last time we spoke, they released a little bit of Raphael art showing he'll be in prison. Raphael will be in prison, and I think that's a bizarre turn to take. It's an interesting turn to take, but they're going for it. They're introducing the humans into introducing the turtles into the regular human world. And they're going to have them interacting as regular humans, and that's just part of the story now. So Raphael's just in general population, apparently, with the other humans, and he's a mutant ninja turtle in jail. So incarcerated mutant ninja turtles is the angle they're going with Raphael, coming out this July. And since then, they also released a little bit of artwork for Mikey. Mikey is going to be the second issue in August. Each one of these first 4 new issues is going to focus on one turtle. Raphael, Michelangelo, Leonardo, Donatello. It's going to be about all of them, but each issue is going to kind of focus on them. Nordic Frost says Jason Aaron did a lot of Marvel work. We'll see how that turns out. I think he worked on Punisher, right? I'm not sure exactly his work with Marvel, but yeah, I know he's a well-established guy. Jason Aaron, well-respected guy. Midwest Request says that's a dark turn we are waiting for. So Michelangelo is a famous TV star. In this version, Michelangelo moved to Tokyo, and he's a famous TV star. In this version, he's in a luxurious penthouse suite, and he's in a luxurious apartment in Tokyo, and he's a rich, assumably famous TV star in this future. He's got a little watch on, a little shine on his wrist. He's got some sort of silk kimono, and he's a rich, famous TV star. And he's separated from his brother. So they're going with the separated, split up turtles thing. And they're going with the humans join the regular human world thing. So the turtles are going to be just interacting like regular humans. And they're going to be split up. And I think the turtles get split up from each other. They do this plot story all the time. They've done it before. The turtles are estranged. They get back together. They split up. They break up. They get back together. It's kind of a predictable storyline. It's a good storyline. It showcases the turtles' different personalities that have some tension, but it's definitely been done before, and that's what they're doing a new number 1, and they're doing the same old story. So I'm curious to see how this ends up. And the turtles are just going to be regular humans. It takes away from what makes the turtles unique if they're just interacting like regular humans, walking around, going to the grocery store and doing laundry. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see them going to get their driver's license renewed and waiting in line, regular human stuff. I want to see them in the sewer and punching people and running around on rooftops. I don't want to see them waiting, commuting to work. But I don't know. JR says black and white has its advantages. It was more of a cost thing in the 80s. Yeah, they printed it themselves. They did it on the cheap. They did it in a bootstraps kind of way. So we'll see how this new comic goes. New number 1 coming up soon. Michelangelo's a famous TV star. It looks fun and silly, but it's just a little strange, if you ask me. I don't know. Maybe it'll turn out well. Yeah, Hollywood, W.A.S.H. WTF, says Midwest Request. Tatoruzu says devastated after seeing this. It is certainly a strange choice. I think it could be interesting. I did read the Image comics in the late 90s, or from the late 90s. I read them in 2019, I think, when they re-released them with Urban Legends. In the Image comics, Michelangelo becomes a famous author, but he uses a ghostwriter. He uses he's hidden. He can write and he has someone pretending to be him. I think April pretends to be him or something. But he writes from the shadows. He's famous, but he uses like a pen name. I thought that was an interesting thing where he's famous, but he can't enjoy the fame. I thought that was an interesting, but just making them like a reality TV show star, it's kind of strange. Gen X Catholic says, I've always wondered if the Turtles could balance a checkbook. Me too. What do? How do they balance their checkbook? What are they doing just on it? Do they clip their fingernails? How much into the minutia are we going to get here with them just being regular humans? But, so ninjas ain't supposed to be Tony Stark's. JR24, I know the RPG books had the Turtles go to Hollywood. Yeah, they had the TMNT go to Hollywood RPG book. So we'll see. I'm excited for this nonetheless. New writer, new creative team. They're putting a bunch of muscle behind this. It's going to be a big push starting this July soon enough. And I think they have like a one shot, like an issue 0 coming out pretty soon. TMNT Alpha or something. And I guess the artists are big deals in the comic book industry. I'm not familiar with these art. I don't know anything about the comic book industry. I just know Ninja Turtles. So I guess these artists are good, great artists and, great writer. I'm excited to see that. Raphael Albuquerque, Joel Jones, Cliff Chong, and then another, and many more. I'm certain we'll see many more. So that is that little portion of the show. Next thing I wanted to mention, we're going back to this scene. My other little guy here. Next thing I wanted to mention quickly, Last Ronin fan film. I think we've talked about at least 3 or 4 of these. Speedo Kagan, of course, the king of the Last Ronin fan film. The Last Ronin animation from Speedo Kagan. But there's a new Last Ronin fan film. TMNT, The Last Ronin, a new contender on the block. The Last Ronin fan film, The Last Ronin cinematic teaser is what they called it. It's a group from Poland. And it's uploaded to Lucas K. Mac. I'm not sure how to pronounce this in Polish. Lukasz Mach. I don't know how to say this, but I recommend this guy, Lucas Mac. Search for TMNT, The Last Ronin cinematic teaser. It's a new fan film, and it seems to be an expansive fan film. It seems to be a big, not like a big production, but like a wide scope. There's a bunch of different locations. There's a bunch of different characters. They included a bunch. It looks like they're throwing everything at it. They didn't do like a slimmed down, pared down, focused version. There's a bunch of random stuff in this cinematic teaser. It's about 50 seconds long. Metalhead is in this Last Ronin teaser. Were any of you expecting to see Metalhead? They're definitely taking some creative liberties because I don't recall Metalhead being in the Last Ronin comic book. But this Metalhead kicks one of the Turtles' butts in the last, very quickly, very fast edited teaser. A lot of quick shots, a lot of stuff going on. It's tough to tell who the turtle is. I think it's the Last Ronin. Maybe it's Leonardo. I'm not sure. There's also a frog in the video, and I don't know who this frog is. Who is this frog? Is this one of the punk frogs? Is this Jay from the IDW? Everyone's favorite comic character, Jay. Is this Michigan J Frog? Who knows who this is? A cyber frog. We do not know who this character is. But there's a frog and Metalhead in this Last Ronin fan film. And it looks pretty good. I gotta say, it looks pretty good. I think they're just putting out a teaser there. It's probably not finished. There's like 15 different locations. There's like 5 different characters. This is kind of a different, it looks like a video game almost. It's not hyper realistic. There's a little bit of like an animated aspect to it. Sometimes it does like this frame skip effect, like a frame skipping effect. And it seems it's not like I don't want to say it's low quality, but just maybe the attention to detail. Maybe they're trying to go for, instead of like perfecting one set and having like every leaf perfect, maybe they're just going to go for 20 different sets and have them all like pretty good. and tell a more expansive story. It's a toss-up between stuff like that. You can't have it's one guy. It's like maybe some Polish guys making it on their own. You can't put 10,000 hours into everything. Sometimes you just have to draw the line and put in as much time as you can. And there's a sacrifice between time and quality and money. And they had to go their path. And I think it looks pretty good. There's a fun aspect to it because it's kind of cartoony. There's a little, you can tell it's animated. There's something fun about that. I don't know. I'm going to play a quick clip and you all can check out this Last Ronin cinematic teaser from the crew in Poland, Lucas K. Mack. Here's a quick clip. So that is it. It goes quickly. It goes very fast. There's a shot of the ground. Metalhead is punching him. It's a close-up. There's a frog. I really don't know what's going on, but it's kind of cool. And I forgot to mention, they took a lot of creative liberties. There's a frog. There's Metalhead. There's also a scene here at a portion through the video. There's like a bunch of clones. So I'm not sure what's going on with the clones. Like, I don't know what this scene is supposed to be. Is there a clone Ninja Turtles? Is this the next generation of Ninja Turtles? So they're definitely creating their own universe with the cinematic teaser, which I respect. They're going for it. They're swinging for the fences, and it could be really cool. They could create a whole new thing on their own, introducing Metalhead. They're doing it their own way. They're introducing all these cloned characters here in these tubes. Who knows what's going on? They're putting their own Polish spin on it. And I think that's pretty cool. And I think it's pretty cool all of you joined me. Now I think it's time. I think it's tea time. So thank you all for joining me. Was this a refreshing new show? I'm trying a new look, trying a couple new looks. Decided I want to switch things up a little bit. Things weren't stagnant. I wasn't bored or anything, but I wanted to try some new things. So hopefully these new black and white, I'm not going to be trying this every week, but wanted to try it this week. Tataruzu said that cinematic teaser looks promising. The clones could be in the TCRI building. Jermaine says, I'm liking your new Ninja Turtle avatar. Thank you. Nordic Frost with the teacup. Teacups in the chat. It's tea time. It's time for tea. We could just spill the tea and gossip. And relax a little bit. Thank you all for the teacups in the chat. I just had a sip of my hot tea. Gonna be a little bit of a shorter show tonight. Just wanted to mention those few things. Sometimes there's not too much going on, but I just want to say, hey, I just want to check in. I like just checking in. I like saying hello. I like having all of you guys here saying what's up. Nice to just check in. But yeah, just wanted to make some changes. Maybe I'm going to try, I'd like to do like a complete rebrand. Honestly, I took those few months off. This is going to be a sad guy moment. I took those few months off. You know how sometimes you have all these plans? I took a few months off. I was going to do a complete rebrand, new look, new this, new avatar, new music, new everything, new attitude. I took a few months off. I didn't do anything. I just sat around. It's whatever, I don't even know what I did. Months went by and just like I felt like nothing. I don't know. So I'm just going to make the changes on the fly. It's not going to be a all-in-one kind of thing. I'd like to get a new microphone. It ends up being like $600 for a new microphone. That like standard microphone everyone has. Everybody with a podcast has that one microphone, the Shure SM7B. I'd like one of those. I have a different microphone. I'm always second guessing. Oh, is it different? Would it sound better? They have that microphone. I have this. Maybe I sound like an idiot because of my microphone. Maybe it's not me. Maybe it's my microphone. So, you get a new microphone, new setup. It takes a lot of time and effort. And I just, took a few months off to do all that. I didn't do anything. Just sat around, moping around. Not really. I actually did I had a great few months, but I just didn't progress like I wanted to. So I'm back and I'm on the grind. Turtle Tuesday. Thank you all for joining me. Tataruzu says that he needs a new mic as well. It's a scary choice. A lot of choices out there. You got to have a whole new setup. Do I need an interface? Do I need a mixer? Do I need to, what kind of sweetening do I need to do on my voice? Do I need compression? JR24 says that fan video reminds me of what The Last Ronin was suggesting in earlier issues. Yeah, maybe it's like a prequel to The Last Ronin kind of thing. Maybe they're going to expand on the prequel aspect, like the Last Ronin 2 and Lost Years kind of thing. JR24. Everything is more expensive now. Yeah, you got that money flying away. That money's just flying away. So I'm going to be trying to make some new changes. Let me know, what changes should I make? What type of, even in the type of content I'm making, I'd like to make some changes. The review videos and just the, hey, check this out videos, don't do it for me anymore. They just feel too superficial. But then I think about doing the more like involved intellectual videos about like cultural and social things. And sometimes those feel too hard. Sometimes I just want to do something light and, you know, do something stupid. And to do these serious videos where I'm talking about these political and social and cultural issues, it's too much. Like the video I have that's coming out this Saturday. It's about the TMNT comic book Survivalists. Some people say it's like a political issue. The Ninja Turtles have always been political. And in my video coming out this Saturday, I say they're comic book villains. It's not political. You know, they're left-wing, they're right-wing. Guess what? They're not. They're comic book villains. Can we just have a little fun with the Ninja Turtles? So I'm trying to have a little fun. And there's a sensitive balance there. There's a fine line between having fun and doing serious video. Am I trying to do a serious video? I'm trying to horse around and have fun, but I'd like it to be meaningful. I'm just trying to find out what I like and what you guys like, and we're figuring it all out together. So hopefully that explains something to you guys. Hey, Mage and Hex, how's it going? Thank you for joining me, W. So you want to see another new look I'm experimenting with? Check this. Oh yeah, making videos is time consuming, says Tato. Yeah, also I hate editing videos. By the way, on top of everything, I hate editing videos. 100% dislike it. It takes up so much time. It's annoying. It's completely unfulfilling. Completely unfulfilling. Do videos about what makes TMNT special to you. That might be a good idea, JR24. I think I'm going to do a video about that. Why I like the Ninja Turtles. Joe Curious, we can all agree that the front cover that Peter Laird did is great work. Absolutely. Everything Peter Laird does is great work, especially that cover to TMNT 12. It's a great story. Editing is the worst part, true. Another new look. I told you I'm working on new looks. Here's a new look I'm working on. Look at this. Sneak peek. Look at this. Do I look tough? I feel tough. This is my new look. You guys can't tell, chat, you can't tell me what to do. You're not even my real dad, chat. I'm going to listen to my albums at the Warped Tour. You can't tell me what to do. Give me my iPod back, Dad. You're not even my real dad, chat. I'm going to the Yellow Card concert whether you like it or not, chat. This is my new look. I'm moody and I want to look that way. No, fortunately, it's just a joke. I'm not going. I could go that way. Could go that way. Sometimes that's the way you feel, you know? Maybe I'm going to start dressing up like, you know, wearing all black all the time. Maybe I got to get real pale, dress like Marilyn Manson or something. Maybe that could be something I get into. Just got to switch it up. Yeah, I'm going gothic. Going full goth. My Gothic Ninja Turtles channel. Teenage Mutants Gothic Turtles for 2024 and beyond. But that's enough for tonight. I think that's a foolish way to end the show, and I couldn't think of a better way. On a little light note, thank you all for joining me. I really appreciate it. Happy Turtle Tuesday. I'll see you next Tuesday. I feel like I've said it all. I think I've said too much. I think I showed too much with showing you my new emo look, my new gothic black hair and my bangs. I think I said too much and I showed too much, unfortunately. But that's the way it goes here on Turtle Tuesday on my Ninja Turtles channel. Make sure to like, subscribe if you don't already, leave a comment. Thank you so much for joining me, and go follow over on Twitter at my TMNT channel. I'm reposting, re-uploading my top 5 most controversial Ninja Turtles videos from the past 2 years, leading up to a new video this Saturday. That's it. I've said it all. And thank you for joining me. Just one thing left to say, right? Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment and share this video. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more Ninja Turtles videos like this.